Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Orientation Part 9. We're going to go into the Gate of Remembrance. So on the side here, we're leaving folder 001 and going into 002 under Module 3, Orientation. So this is essentially what is going to start the forward momentum truly. You've kind of mixed up the dirt a little bit. Things are starting to surface. This is what gets the feet walking on that ground. I encourage you, before you begin walking, to go back and look at everything that you've written or recorded thus far. When you're writing something, when you're recording something, it's great. It's being released. It's coming out. But there's a different level of understanding, a different perspective that comes from you going back and re-witnessing that. It's not meant to be just a fleeting moment. It's meant to be data. And data, in order to really be useful, needs to be observed and used. Not just numbers on a sheet, but some kind of program in action, replacing the old program that wasn't working for you. So I encourage you to go back and not just this time, but also other times throughout the course, but specifically now before you get started, to go back and witness where you're at. See yourself through what you've given yourself in the previous steps. So when you're ready, and only when you're ready, you can take 2 weeks for orientation. You can go back and take just as long as it took to write it, to read it. Or you can just kind of skim through it. But you'll pick up at least one thing if you're able to go back and do that. Okay, so Gate of Remembrance has opened. We're in 002. I encourage you always to read these by yourself, because then it's read in the voice of you. And you pick up on a lot of different things if you're the one that's inputting this data into your supercomputer brain. So read this top part, and then down here, Orientation Week, the Gate of Remembrance. That's what we're going to listen to now. I close my eyes and take a slow breath in. I feel the air fill my chest, the weight of my body anchored to the earth beneath me. With each breath, I soften deeper into this moment. With each breath, I arrive. This is the week that the ground shifts beneath my feet. The week I stop searching for the path and realize I have been walking it all along. The week I cross a threshold I cannot uncross. There's a reason that every great story begins in the dark. Not because the dark is punishment, but because it is a womb of becoming. It is where all things hide. The labyrinth does not greet me with certainty or applause. It greets me with a single question, a question that echoes through the marrow of my being. Am I ready to meet myself without the disguises I built to survive? I did not arrive here by accident. Something older than memory has been calling me, a pulse beneath the noise of my life, whispering, there is more to this story. This journey is not about finding that story. It is about remembering that I wrote it. The descent ahead is not a fall. It is a return. A spiral back into what I've always been. Every gate I will walk in this codex was carved by my own hands before I ever even arrived here. The betrayals, the heartbreaks, the collapses, the moments that shattered my certainty, none of them were random. They are the ink my soul used to write the opening act of its script. I take another breath and let this truth land. Nothing was wasted. Even what hurt me shaped me. Even what broke me built me. I remind myself not to mistake the darkness for emptiness. It is not a void. It is a seedbed. Beneath its surface, my truth has been waiting. Buried but not lost. What I will encounter here is not new knowledge. It is ancient memory, written into my blood and my breath. It has been waiting for me to stop running from the ache and start reading the message inside of it. This is not a course. It is an initiation. It will not hand me tidy answers. It will hand me mirrors and ask me to look. It will ask me to speak aloud the truths that I have never dared to name. It will require me to become an archaeologist of my own soul, shifting through the rubble of my history to find the architecture beneath. I breathe deeply and imagine myself stepping into the spiral. As I descend, I begin to see patterns emerging, threads connecting. I realize that every wound was a doorway, every detour a breadcrumb, every ending a deliberate design choice in the script that I authored long before I forgot my power to create. The labyrinth will not rush me. It will meet me step by step, breath by breath, choice by choice. But I know this: once I cross this gate, the old ways of seeing myself will begin to dissolve. The victim will soften, the narrator will stir, and the author, the one who has always watched from the highest seat of my soul, will rise to reclaim the pen. I let these words settle. I feel the threshold beneath my feet. The gate is open now, and I stand before it, heart steady, breath deep, presence anchored. And as I take my first step into the spiral, I speak these words aloud as a vow to myself. The labyrinth is not a trap. It is the path I designed to remember who I am. And this is the moment I chose to walk it. I breathe this truth in and I let it root itself into my cells. I walk forward knowing I am not stepping into something unknown. I'm stepping back into what I have always been. I am returning. I am remembering. I am ready. Okay, so I wrote, which mirror are you scared of finally facing? And I wasn't sure how I wanted to word that. Which mirror are you hesitant to face? Is there a mirror you're scared to face? But that's like, I feel like the way of me wording it that way was specific, because it took me a minute to figure out how to word it. So I'm going to keep that in mind as I'm answering it. I don't think I have an answer for it yet. My intention is to answer by the end of orientation module. So we have a couple pieces left. So I'm going to put a big star here to know to come back to it. And I'm not going to put pressure on myself with that, okay? So my goal is to have an answer there by the end of orientation. If I don't, and I just don't remember to go back to it, or I don't have an answer yet, I'm not going to shame myself for that. I'm going to trust that the answer is meant to come later in the course. Maybe it comes week 2. Maybe it comes the last week. That's okay. Maybe it doesn't come until I have the answer for it. And I'm like, oh, that was it. That was the one. That was the one I was most afraid to face. That's okay. I set the intention of, I feel like it's important for me to gather this data. Don't know why. Don't know what else that's going to unlock. Don't know what that's going to piece together. Maybe nothing. Probably something. But I set the intention to get this answer, and now I trust that I'll be able to fill in this blank when it comes. So I'm going to kind of close off this box a little bit so I have a marker of where to go for other things that I'm writing. Okay. And this also, I only left myself a little bit of space here. So I don't plan on doing a long explanation. I plan on naming this like a title, like giving it a title. And then I wrote, what broke me gave me tools to rebuild myself. So that is it for this part. If you didn't write anything down, that's okay. If you just sat there and received, that's okay. That's what you needed to get out of it. If you right now are writing 87 pages, that's okay. That's what you needed to get out of it. Trust that what you receive is what you needed in order to proceed to step 3. That's why they all have numbers. See you in the next part.